So, this is the first game of the London Regionals that took place last season in VGC 15. No one cares about that anymore, but I said I would put my entire season onto YouTube, so here it is. So he's going to lead off with his Milotic and his Zapdos, and I'm going to lead off with my Thundurus and my Excadrill. My Mold Breaker goes first, but that is no surprise because I am actually a Choice Scarf Excadrill. So I'm going to switch it out in fear of the Scald from the Milotic and switch into my Suicune to resist the hit. But he turns out to be a Choice Scarf Milotic and goes for the Ice Beam onto my Thundurus. It's not going to knock me out, but first turn of the entire tournament, I get frozen, which is horrible because I was going for the Thunderbolt onto the Milotic to most likely knock it out now that I know it's a Choice Scarf variant, because I am a Life Orb Thundurus, and he goes for the Heat Wave, not knocking me out, but he is nice enough to thaw me, although the damage had already been done at that point because he can still outspeed me with his Milotic, so I'm forced to protect my Thundurus and try and get up my Tailwind with the Suicune so I can outspeed the Milotic. But he is going to go for the Thunder Wave onto Suicune, and of course, I get fully paralyzed. So I can't get up my Tailwind this turn, and I'm really set back. So I have to switch out my Thundurus, else it will get KO'd to the Ice Beam, and I switch in my Excadrill because I have a Salamence in the back. Excadrill is the only thing that I can switch into an Ice Beam, and even then it's not going to take it very well at all. So it does under 50%, which is nice, and he's going to go for the Thunderbolt onto my Suicune, which does a decent chunk, doing well over half. This isn't the bulkiest of Suicunes, it's way more offensive than normal, but that's so that I can guarantee the Citrus Berry activating, which I definitely prefer to the bulkier ones, because you could take 49% of damage and then 51%, and that's horrible. But I do manage to get my Tailwind off through the paralysis, which is really nice. He's going to switch out his Milotic into his Scrafty, which is a really good switch. Intimidates my Excadrill, so my Rock Slides are going to do nothing to this Zapdos, which is really, really bad, because it turns out this Zapdos is actually much bulkier than normal. So the Rock Slide goes off, hits both Pokemon, going to do nothing to Scrafty, and it actually does 15%-ish to the Zapdos, which is really bad damage, showing it's a really bulky Zapdos. And he goes for the Heat Wave, and it doesn't knock out my Excadrill, which is really nice. But I get fully paralyzed again with my Suicune, which is really bad. He can just fake out my Excadrill. I'm just going to call it Miller sucks, because Miller does suck. And he goes for the Thunderbolt onto my Suicune, and that's going to pick up the knockout, which is really unfortunate. Because now my Excadrill can't move because it flinched, and I have to switch in my Salamence because Thundurus won't do much in this situation. So I intimidate his Scrafty and his Zapdos, which is completely useless, and pretty much I have to go for flinches now, because I'm going to be locked into Rock Slide because I am Choice Scarf Excadrill, and he's got some luck for him. I need to start trying to get some luck back for me. So I go for the Rock Slide, and I miss the Zapdos, which is the one I need to hit and flinch. So that's, again, really unfortunate, because I'm going for the Frustration just to take out the Scrafty. He had two things in the back that couldn't switch into a Frustration. They would have both been KO'd, so he had to leave the Scrafty in there. But I missed the Zapdos, no chance of a Rock Slide flinch, but some luck back for me. He misses my Excadrill, so it's around for another turn to try and get some more flinches. But my Tailwind is over at this point, and my Salamence is not max speed. And I don't know whether he knew this, but he doesn't protect his Gengar to get the speed boost, so that he would definitely outspeed the Salamence, which is really annoying because I was hoping he would protect. But I go for the Rock Slide onto the Zapdos, trying to get the flinches, get a critical onto the Gengar, which didn't really matter at all, and he's actually a Will-O-Wisp Gengar, which is even worse, because now I can do almost no damage to the Zapdos at all because of the intimidated Excadrill and the burnt flying type moves of Salamence. But the Frustration is still enough to KO this Gengar through the burn, and he goes for the Heat Wave, this time hitting the Excadrill, and it's knocked out. So now we're both down to two Pokemon. He's got his Choice Scarf Milotic. I am out of Tailwind. I can't do anything. Can't outspeed him with anything unless I get a Dragon Lance up, but that's not going to happen because he could just Ice Beam me. There's no point for him not locking into Ice Beam at this point. So I'm going to bring in my Thundurus with one hit left of its Life Orb. I'm going to protect the Salamence because he was definitely going to target that with the Ice Beam first, because that could have done more damage and the Thundurus was going to KO itself. Thunderbolt onto the Milotic, and it turns out I most likely get minimum damage because usually I can KO most choice scarf Milotics, but he did say at the end he had some bulk on the Milotic, so it might not have been so much of a roll, but I was expecting that to KO, because then I was going to go for the Giga Impact critical hit onto the Zapdos, but I don't even get a chance for that, and he finishes me off with the Ice Beam. So a pretty bad start to this regional, which was really unfortunate because I was theoretically the favourite, quote unquote, to win it because I'd been doing well at PCs. Thank you, Nigel. So let's move on to game 2.